Hello friends, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back. My name is Elise, and this is my mystical bookshelf. And today, happy 2026. My last video was technically my first video of the new year, but I didn't say Happy New Year, so Happy New Year. And for this week's video, I'm going to follow the trend of BookTube and do my top 10 books of 2025. And I don't have a super particular order except for number one. Number one is not going to change, but the other 9 are up for interpretation as to where they land in how I really enjoyed them. And for this video, I have my handy dandy planner that I have written my notes down on. So, without further ado, let's get into my top 10 books of 2025. So, first I have Midnight on Beacon Street, and that is one of the slow burn slashers that I read last year. And it is very atmospheric. It was short. I found it on Libby. I can't remember the author's name. I didn't write it down. I wrote down every other author's name, but hers I did not. So I can't remember who it's by, but she's really good. I enjoyed it. She has a very descriptive way of writing, and I thought it was really great. It was definitely a good book to get you into the spooky season. It was one of the first books I read when I was getting the itch for spooky season, and it sets the scene so nicely. And it's sort of it's a slow burn thriller, like I said, and I've said this in my video. I know it had low ratings, but I personally gave it 5 stars, and it's definitely in my top 10. I loved it. I recommend it if you like descriptive scenes and like vibes, and it has great character growth for the main character, Amy. I really loved her. She was super cute, and it's set in like the 80s, and that's everything that you can hope for. Actually, no, I take that back. I think it's set in 1990 something. But either way, it's set in like the great pre-times of the world, between the 80s and the 90s. That is like golden age to me. I miss times that were simpler like that. It just has a simple times vibe, and I loved it. I enjoyed it. And I also have The Enchanted Greenhouse by Sarah Beth Durst. She's in my top 10 all the time. I mean, she only has 2 books, but they're great bangers. They're really great. I love The Enchanted Greenhouse. It was super sweet. I also have a video going into my deeper thoughts on that. That was one of the... I can't remember what month I read that book in, but I think I read it in the summer, sometime and then. But it's kind of set during winter, so I might give it a re-listen, because per usual, I am kind of in a book slump right now. I haven't listened to any books yet for 2026, if I may be so bold and honest with you, dear viewers. So that's kind of not great, but I don't know what to listen to or read, for that matter. I'll get to it. We'll get to it. Thankfully, I have a backlog of stuff that I had already listened to last year, but it's mostly Christmas books, so I don't even know if I'm going to do them. But that's besides the point. The Enchanted Greenhouse was lovely. Sarah Beth Durst is a champion. She's amazing. I love her with my whole heart, and I'm really excited for her new book. It has something to do with the Sea of Charms, I think, and that comes out 3 days after my birthday. So I'm like, heck yeah, let's do it. I'm so excited. I can't wait. I love her so much. I have no notes for her books. They're great. I also wrote down Long Lost by Jacqueline West. That's another book that I have also done an extensive review on, if you want to check it out. That gave me Ever After High, Elsa Anna, like sisterly Disney vibes. It was a really great middle grade. There's a lot of middle grades that I read last year that I really loved, and Jacqueline West, top of my list. She's a great author. I want to read more by her, personally. She sounds like she has a really great repertoire of books, so I'm hoping that I can find more of her books either on Libby or at McKay's, because she's a really great author. And then I have one that I haven't done a video on yet. I'm saving it for Valentine's Day because it is called Of Love and Treason, and it is a Christian-based book. It's a Christian-based romance set in the times that Jesus was living. Isn't that awesome? I thought it was so cool. It's by Jamie Ogle, and it takes place during the life and times of Christ, which is really cool. It's about Saint Valentine, and that's why I'm saving it for Valentine's Day. I had made extensive notes on it, so I will be making that video. Valentine's Day falls on a Saturday this year, so that video will be going up on Sunday, February 15th. But, so I'm gonna not say too much about it, but that's a really, really, really good book. It made me cry. Listen to it at work. Not the great place to cry, but you know what? It's okay. I was okay. It's just really good. I love St. Valentine and Iris, OTP. More on that later, in about a month. And then I also have Uncharmed by Lucy Jane Wood, another queen after my own heart. I love her books so much. She also only has 2 books out at the moment. And I just saw on Instagram, she's releasing a 3rd book called Disenchanted, and I'm so excited about it. I really am. I love Lucy Jane Wood. I can't say enough good things about her. She's fabulous. She's a fabulous author. Rewitched was in my top 10 last year. Uncharmed is in my top 10 this year. Her characters are unmatched. Her love interests are really great. They have great banter, great chemistry, great settings. Her settings are amazing, and the way she describes things, I love her. I love her. I want her to keep writing. I want to know what she's going to do next. I'm really excited for Disenchanted. It says the main characters are Sage, and the other character's name, it looked weird to me, but it started with like a C. I can't remember off the top of my head. I just looked at it, but it sounded very interesting. The tagline she used was, "If you want to keep whimsy and wonder in your life." And I'm all about whimsy and wonder. I'm turning 30 this year. I need to keep that whimsy and wonder alive in my life. So yes, that's Uncharmed. Great book. I have a video all about it. I have a video about all these books. So, except Love and Treason. But, go watch those. They're really great. I also have The Late Night Witches by Orly Wallace. That book was so funny. So funny. I loved it so much. It was so cute. Hallmark meets horror. That was the book that I read, on Halloween, or, the day before Halloween, and it was just perfect. It was really great. It was a great book. I recommend you watch that video, because that was a really fun video to make. That was one of the more fun videos I've made in a while. I just felt like my energy was top tier for that book. And I think I made the video on Halloween. So I think that's why my energy was up. It was fun. And then I have What Alice Forgot by Liane Moriarty. I also did an extensive video on that. And I know a lot of you watched it. A lot of people watched it. I'm really thankful for that. It was so good. That was a great book. I really enjoy domestic psychological thrillers / romances. I'm going to read more Liane Moriarty because I have some of her books on my mystical bookshelf, and I need to pull them out because I know she wrote a lot of good things, and I want to dive more into that because her writing style was great. Loved it. Okay, another book that I did not make a video about that I probably should because it's really interesting And I'm surprised that I even mustered through this. I read It by Stephen King. Let me say, mystical bookshelfers, I am afraid of clowns. I really am. I don't like clowns. They are not my favorite. But this was a really good book. I listened to it in like 4 days at work. It's a long book. It's a really long book. I can't imagine like actually reading it, but listening to it was great. The narrator, spot on. He was amazing. I think his name is also Steven, so that was cool. I should make a video about this. I should. I'm going to keep my praises light, because I definitely want to dive into that, because it was a super good book. I was so impressed. Like, Stephen King. Yes, please. I need to read more Stephen King. It's on my to-do list to listen to 11/22/63. I had it on Libby, but unfortunately, I just didn't have time to listen to it, so my hold expired, and I had to put another hold on it, so hopefully it'll become available soon. If not, I might just suck it up and use an Audible credit for it, because I want to get into Stephen King more. He's a great writer, for a reason, obviously. He writes so many good classics. And then, speaking of classics, this is a different type of classic, but I also read Wings of Starlight by Allison Saft, and that was also really good. I have a video about it. And it was like Tinkerbell's realm come to life. And I'm like, oh my gosh, say less. Say less. It was so good. I love Tinkerbell. One of my favorite franchises as a little girl. I'm a fairy girl in my heart of hearts. So it was really good. Totally enjoyed it. I would recommend reading it. I recommend listening to the video that I did on it because it was really good. And I haven't heard anything else from Allison Saft recently, so I might have to go digging on Instagram and see if she's going to put out any more books, because, girlfriend, you need to write more fairy books because that was really good. And then, my number one book of the year, So Thrilled for You, by Holly Bourne. This woman has written a really, really, really great take on motherhood. It was beautiful. It was great. It was messy. I read it so fast. It wasn't even funny. I did my mid-year book tag freakout video on this, and I said it was going to be my number one, and it stayed my number one. It's a really good book. I would recommend watching that video. I went into a deep analysis of all the characters. It was beautiful. I loved it. It was so messy. It was funny. It's funny as heck. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I want to read more Holly Bourne because her writing style is chef's kiss. It's great. And then for, kicks and giggles, I have some honorable mentions that I've written down. I wrote down Gilded Girl by Alyssa Coleman. That's a retelling of The Little Princess, I think. And I found it on Audible. This was before I discovered Libby. I think I made a video about that too. It was free on Audible for a while. Now I don't think it is, but it's a really cute book. Love the female friendships. I love all of the characters in it. It was very lively. It was so cute. It's a middle grade. It was a really great book. I enjoyed it. I also wrote down Big Swiss. I did not make a video about that. I need to make a video about Big Swiss because this was my strange girl fiction honorable mention because it was super good. It kind of gave me the major ick, but it was good. But I'm going to probably make a video about it soon because I read it last year on Libby. I actually read it. I read the ebook version. It was a wild ride. Quite the trip, my friends. Quite the trip. It was funny. I would recommend it if you don't mind feeling slightly icky. But, regardless. Then I also have Such a Fun Age by Kelly Reid. This book was so interesting. So interesting. Didn't make a video about this book yet either. I probably should. I wrote down an extensive Goodreads review about it. If you want to know my thoughts, I would read my Goodreads review, and I'll make a video about it at some point, because it's still pretty fresh. I think about it from time to time. It's definitely, it's an interesting commentary on certain things in the world. And I was like, okay, I'm seated. I was interested. It's kind of messy, kind of cringe, but it was really interesting. And then last but not least, one of my other Christian fiction reviews that I have done, I wrote down Eve's Daughters by Lynn Austin. I made an extensive video about this as well. I think I read it during Lent last year. It was really great, very reflective. It covered like 3 generations of women. It was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I really should read more Lynn Austin. Her book was great. My video review, also great, not to brag. But, you know, it was a really great book. I really enjoyed it. And yeah, that's all the books I have written down for my top 10, plus my, let me count, 1, 2, 3, plus 4 honorable mentions. So yeah, those are my books of 2025. I am hoping 2026 will be off to a strong start, but so far it's not. So hopefully we're going to change that. I'm going to get reading, and I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye, friends!